Konnichiwa minasan, Nihongo no gakusei desu. In this lesson, we will learn 3 new ways to make requests. We use the te form of a verb plus itadake masen ka to make a polite request. This is more appropriate than kudasai when asking or making a request or a favor from a non-peer such as a professor or a boss or a stranger. For example, we have this sentence, Tatsudatte itadakemasen ka? Would you lend me a hand? Okay. So this request is more likely used when talking with professor or with the boss or with stranger. Okay. Do not use this when asking a request to a friend or to your family member. So itadakemasen ka comes from itadakeru, the casual potential form of itadaku. Itadaku means to receive something or receive a favor from somebody higher up. The Japanese expression itadakimasu before eating comes from itadaku. Itadakimasu. The form of the verb plus kuremasen ka. This is less polite than itadakemasen ka. So, kuremasen ka is more appropriate when talking with a host family. Okay? Chotto matte kuremasen ka? Will you wait for a while? So, again, when talking to a host family, we can use kuremasen ka. Kuremasen ka. So, kuremasen ka comes from kureru, to give. Kureru. And one of the most casual form when asking for a request or favor. So we have kurenai, te form plus kurenai. This is more appropriate when talking with friends or family. So sore totte kurenai, can you pick that and pass it to me? So here we use the question mark because it has no question particle ka. Sore totte kurenai. Or we can also say sore totte without kurenai. It is also okay. Sore totte, pick that up, will you? Again, this is casual and more appropriate with friends, family. So in Japanese, we have the level or degree of politeness when asking for something or asking for a favor. So we have the most polite, te itadakemasen ka? And then we have the most casual, te kurenai. Te kurenai? Te kurenai. In English, also, we have this level of politeness when asking for a request. The most polite is, would you mind? Would you mind? This is when talking to a professor or a boss. Would you mind? Okay. So we do not use can you to a professor. That is quite rude. And we can use can you with our friends or family again. Renshu shimashou. Let's practice. So here we have yukkuri hanasu. Yukkuri hanasu. Speak slowly. Now we're going to ask our friend, a host family, and a professor to speak slowly using the expressions that we have just learned. Itadakemasen ka, koremasen ka, and korenai. Alright, let's start with tomodachi. Tomodachi, yukkuri hanashite. Again, don't forget to convert the verb into the te form. So hanasu, hanashite. Yukkuri hanashite kurenai. Yukkuri hanashite kurenai. Will you speak slowly? Yukkuri hanashite kurenai. So use this when talking to a friend. Next we have hosto family. Hosto family. So yukkuri hanashite kuremasen ka? Yukkuri hanashite kuremasen ka? Will you speak slowly? Or could you speak slowly? Both are acceptable. And for professor, Professor, please speak slowly. So, please speak slowly or would you speak slowly is Sensei, ゆっくり話していただけませんか? ゆっくり話していただけませんか? Okay? So that is the most polite form. Alright, we're going to make sentences like this using the phrase in the next slide. Okay, we're going to formulate requests using these phrases. For tomodachi, for a friend, will you lend me bike, return the book, introduce friend, show notes. For host family, wake me up at 6 o'clock, come and pick me up at the station, make an obento, help with homework. And for the professor, sensei, bunpo setsume suru, explain the grammar. Would you write a letter of recommendation? Suisenjo o kaku. Eigo ni yakusu, to translate to English. Sakubun no naosu, correct the essay. Okay, so we're going to formulate sentences using either kurenai, kuremasen ka, and te itadake masen ka. Alright, for the first one, for our friend. So, jitensha kasu, would you lend me a bike? So, convert the verb into the te form. So, jitensha kashite kurenai. Jitensha kashite kurenai. So, when writing kurenai, please add the question mark because it has no question particle ka. So, kurenai plus the rising intonation. Jitensha o kashite kurenai. Second, honno kaesu. Will you return the book? So, honno kaesu. Honno kaeshite kurenai. Will you return the book? Honno kaeshite kurenai. Will you introduce your friend? So, tomodachi o shoukai suru. So, shoukai suru. Tomodachi o shoukai shite kurenai. Will you introduce your friend? Tomodachi o shoukai shite kurenai. Next, we have note o miseru. Will you show your notes? Note o miseru. So here we have note o misete kurenai. Note o misete kurenai. Will you show your notes? Okay. For the host family, host to family. So first we have rokuji ni okosu. Will you wake me up at 6 o'clock? So okosu becomes rokuji ni okoshite kuremasen ka? Rokuji ni okoshite kuremasen ka? Next, pick up at the station. Will you pick me up at the station? Eki ni mukai ni kuru. So here we have kuru becomes eki ni mukai ni kitte kuremasen ka? Will you pick me up at the station? Eki ni mukai ni kitte kuremasen ka? Obento tsukuru. Will you make an obento? Obento tsukuru. So, obento tsukuru becomes obento tsukette kuremasen ka? Obento tsukette kuremasen ka? Will you make an obento? So, bento or obento is a boxed lunch. Shukudai o tetsudau. Shukudai o tetsudau. To help with homework. Will you help me with my homework? Shukudai o tetsudau. So tetsudau becomes tetsudatte. Shukudai o tetsudatte kuremasen ka? Will you help me with my homework? Shukudai o tetsudatte kuremasen ka? And for the professor, we use itadakemasen ka. So we have bunpo setsume suru. Would you explain the grammar? So, bunpo setsume suru becomes bunpo setsume shite itadakemasen ka? Would you explain the grammar? 文法説明していただけませんか？推薦状を書く to write a letter. 推薦状を書く。So, 推薦状を書く becomes 推薦状書いていただけませんか？推薦状書いていただけませんか？ Would you write a letter of recommendation? Next. 英語に訳す。英語に訳す。英語に訳す。Would you translate this to English? So, 英語に訳す becomes 英語に訳していただけませんか？英語に訳していただけませんか？ And lastly, we have 作文の直す to correct the essay. So, 作文の直す becomes 作文の直していただけませんか？作文を直していただけませんか？ Would you correct the essay? Or would you mind correcting the essay? Right? Alright, I want to thank you for listening and watching, and I hope you have learned something.